Well, oh, okay, we're recording. Hello. So, this is Brendan. Welcome to 413.
Not cock talk.
Not Cock Talk with Brendan, but 413 with Brendan, where I will be talking about and discussing life as an illustration student in art school with my friend Natalie, who's here with me. She's kind of my tech assistant, since I don't know anything. But yeah. So I guess in this episode we'll just be talking about our experiences this semester. So far. I don't expect this podcast to be, I don't know, revolutionary in the world, but if anyone out there is listening who is also an art student or an illustration student, yeah, tune in. Maybe you'll learn something. Maybe you won't. I don't know. This is a good. Put this on in the background. Do that. Yeah. So why don't we start off with talking about anything new that you've learned this semester that you didn't know, or wish you did know last semester.
You asking me this now?
Yes.
How to animate? That's kind of the bigger thing.
Ooh. Yeah.
Because in digital, I kind of knew everything already.
Yeah.
It was just going over introduction to digital.
Yeah.
Kind of going over everything. But in intro to animation, I've done it a little bit, but not too much. So it was good to try out some new stuff. Use a new software called Dragon Frame I hadn't heard of before. And really easy to use in terms of actually making an animation and recording your animation. So that's what I learned.
Yeah.
I always forget all my third classes. Scientific illustration, I haven't really learned anything in yet, but I only had one class.
Yeah. Well, it's only in the first class, so it's okay. What is it about animation that keeps you up at night in excitement?
I find it daunting.
Daunting?
Because I need to do an animation of an object falling and have it squash and stretch. I need to contort it to make it look more alive in the actual finished animation.
Yeah.
And I don't really know how to do that, so...
But you're learning it now.
I'm a little bit nervous. I'm also nervous about this recording because I don't think it's recording my voice too well, but we're already into this.
Yeah, maybe...
I think you're a bit louder than I am.
Maybe. Yeah.
But yeah, we can put it closer to me.
Yeah. You can move it. So, you're a new animator. You're just starting off. Are you guys going to cover digital, like 3-dimensional?
No, I don't think so. I think it's mainly just hand-drawn animation. I think that's where we're starting.
Yeah.
And where we're ending as well.
Yeah.
We need to loosen up a little bit, Brandon.
I do.
Like what we were saying just a few minutes ago. Yeah,
ask me a question.
Well, just talk about woodcuts so far. Why do you love woodcuts?
Why do I love woodcut?
Woodcut printing. And maybe hokusai. Your thoughts on the Edo period in Japan.
Well, guys, okay. The Edo period in Japan was lit AF. You guys have no idea what was going on in Japan during that time period. Oh my god. I'm not okay. I know I sound really weird, but listen, if you look up Fisherman's Dream Woodcut Hokusai Edo period, you're gonna find something very interesting. It is NSFW, so if you're under 18, don't do that. Don't recommend it. If you're 18 or older, please do.
But it's art.
It's
beautiful.
That's true. It is art. It is beautifully done. The woodcut itself is beautifully done. I have to say, though, stylistically, woodcut is not for everyone. I know when I first... Well, see, when I first started learning how to draw, I was always like...
Which you're doing at this moment.
Which I'm doing at this moment. I was always like, I gotta make it look like what I'm looking at exactly. It's gotta be real. It's gotta be like rendered well, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, and you should pursue that. But woodcut cannot give you the level of detail of rendering as a printmaking medium as something like oil painting can give you.
Mm-hmm.
Although obviously it depends on what you're doing and how you're using it, but I think there is a greater capacity with other mediums to make things look like what you see observationally than woodcut can. Although there are some pretty damn good woodcuts out there that do just that. But I forget the artists who've done them. But yeah, but it's fun medium. It's TBH. It's kind of like the only thing I found so far where I can like implement text and the words and the image itself without it looking weird in a traditional method. Because if I don't carve out my letters, then that means I either have to hand draw them or hand paint them. This is excluding digital, but in traditional media, if you want to make your letter forms look good, you got to either hand draw them or hand paint them, and it's a bitch of a skill. And that takes you years to learn, which I do not have, and after trying it, I do not want to learn it. And woodcut just kind of, well, really any kind of form of printmaking is going to make text a lot easier to handle than other traditional mediums. I don't know if that's making sense, but that was what was happening to me. But yeah, so it's fun. We had not a crazy class day.
Why? Why was it crazy?
Well, because we had to set up our workspace.
In the classroom?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was interesting. We were given the idea to just kind of, well, not given the idea, but our teacher told us to like set up the workspace to how we want it, to put out a lot of tables, and we did.
Using the drawing horses?
Not the drawing horses. We were like actually moving those out so we could like put other
tables. Because it's in 309, like that studio room, right?
Yeah.
Aren't there any drawing horses?
There are, but we were using larger tables that.
How many are there?
There were like 4.
That's not enough for everyone.
We had, we just like moved them from the room next door over. He just wants us to have our own.
How do you have your own space?
Well, not our own space, but like just our own like place to work with our prints, because eventually our wood blocks are going to get so big that the drawing horses aren't going to be able to hold them all.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of have to learn how to deal with that kind of stuff. I don't know. It was fun. We didn't end up using them though, which I was kind of annoyed with, but
Why?
it's okay. We were critting for like more than half the class.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what are some tips that we could think to give an illustration student that struggling? I know there's the whole like finding your style thing that a lot of people talk about. I don't know if we're really like in a position to help people, because I don't know if we have a style that we're comfortable with yet.
It just kind of evolves naturally. I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We need.
Huh?
How much of this is going to be illustration? How much of it is going to be absolute nonsense? So I think we need that as well.
Well, I think what we really need to do is to come up with like a sheet that has a list of things to talk about.
Well,
and then we can. We did that already?
Yeah, you don't remember?
I don't remember. We should let's do that again.
I probably still have it somewhere.
Yeah, let's do that.
Well, that's something that
everyone
needs to know, is that Brendan's memory is the worst I've ever encountered in my life.
How can you say that?
Because you don't remember anything.
Give me proof. Give us proof.
Right now. You just said you don't remember doing and making up a list of questions and things to talk about when we have already done that. I think more than once.
Okay, I can see.
I am Brendan's backup drive, that's what I keep saying.
She really is. Yeah. Okay, let's do that again then. And this time I can try to.
I'll find it. I'll find it somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure there are like other. I'm sure if we looked online, we could find like some good questions. But back to the style thing. I don't think we're gonna answer this question well in this episode, but we can.
Well,
we can try.
That can be an ongoing question. Once we get our guests.
Yeah.
We can ask them.
Okay.
I was going to ask you a question, but I've completely forgotten, so...
Oh, I'm not the only one with a frail memory. Okay. Okay, well, let me just say...
Ouch, that's the meanest you're ever going to be.
Yeah. I'm a softie. I'm like a teddy bear. Well, at least for me, when I was doing woodcut, at least because of how restricting that medium is, you kind of are forced into a style almost, if that makes sense. Because when people draw...
I saw some of the work from that class and it looks different.
Yeah.
There is a lot of room for style.
Oh, yeah, there is. It's not all limiting, and it's one of the things that our teacher mentions to us is don't get bogged, don't let your creativity die just because of what the wood, how restricting the wood is to carve. If anything, from what I've seen from people, when you're limited in that kind of way, in terms of how you have to work, how you have to handle it, I think it produces a lot of interesting work because people are trying to find their own solution to a restricting problem, which is that you have to carve wood and you got to figure out a way to do it. But yeah, there are certain things that are harder to do with wood than obviously with pen and ink, like cross hatching. Don't cross hatch.
Why?
With wood, because woodcut and linoleum cutting are reductive techniques. When you cross hatch with lines, if you want to make the lines black, what you have to do is you have to cut out the white spaces individually to leave the black lines there. Otherwise, you could do it in reverse where your cuts are cross-hatched, but then you would be getting a negative, in which case it would be white lines that are cross-hatching instead of black lines, which is what most people would want, I think. Yeah. This is, if I had a video, I wish I could show it, but this is a podcast, so y'all are gonna have to bear with me in my bad explanations. But yeah. So that's, yeah.
Going off of woodcut, what did you think of the advanced painting show yesterday?
Ooh, that one?
Yeah.
I liked it.
I was about to say his name.
Oh, no, we're gonna work on that.
Yeah. Need nicknames.
Yeah, we need
Kenny
code.
Short.
Kenny Short, please. Okay. One of the things that I noticed a lot of people liked about it was that it was so diverse in the way.
Oh yeah, because I went later and everyone had left by that point except for our professor.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to see other people reacting to the work. So I'm curious to hear what people were saying. So I only went with the crew afterwards.
Yeah, people really liked it. It was nice that there were so many different ways of painting that were shown in the show. I think that was one of the major strengths of it, was that there was so many different ways that people were rendering their subject matter. So it was really cool. Yeah, no one who's listening to this is gonna know about it or gonna know where to go. But
not specifically, but it's an interesting topic.
Yeah, I know. Actually, one of my friends in the class, she went to. Okay, I don't wanna. I'm not trying to throw shade or put something under fire, but when she went to I guess the fine art painting that was up around the same time, she was a little bit disappointed because of the fact that it wasn't, everyone's work was kind of, I don't want to say homogenous, but they were all kind of.
When she went to the painting show, not the illustration painting show, but the painting show, okay. Yeah,
everything was very similarly done with how subject matter was handled and the way things were rendered. And I don't think that that's innately a bad thing. I do remember her talking to.
Why is it not a bad thing if everything's the same?
I'm trying to give people credit here.
No, I mean, you can say whatever you want. If everything is the same and it's homogeneous, I don't really think that's useful to anyone.
True. I mean, as a fine artist, you have to be aware. I guess, Honestly, everyone has to be aware of trends, I think, regardless of what position you're in. But I think you have to...
be aware of them. Yeah, I mean...
But there are... But from what I have heard from people, connections. I have heard that if you really do want to sell something, I'm not a fine artist, just FYI, so I'm sure many fine artists out there can like rip me apart for saying this, and also please correct me, but
like they're gonna be listening and commenting, like correcting you.
Yeah, but
one day.
True, one day. But
you're gonna be the next Holly Exley.
I hope that would be amazing, but I wouldn't want to take away someone else's career. Not that I ever could. Guys, go follow Holly Exley on YouTube. She's a wonderful person. Please do. If you love watercolor, you'll love her. Follow her. Subscribe and follow her. Shameless plug. But basically, so to get back to the topic, what I heard was that, the information that I found is that if you're trying to appeal to a gallery, you kind of also have to appeal to the people that are going to be buying your work and looking at it. And if those people have a certain taste and a certain color scheme, it will be easier for you to show off your work and for other people to appreciate it, and then that might lead to more sales. Not that you should, as a fine artist, instantly go do that, but if your work isn't, I don't know how to explain it in a good way, because I don't really interact with like the fine art market, but there is a market. Mm-hmm. Which is the thing I think a lot of people should do more research on, is that there is a market, there are trends in the fine art world, and the more you adhere to those trends, the more likely you're going to be selling something. You don't have to like be a trend whore and just like hop on those trends and straddle yourself around them.
Oh, I wish we could record your shoulder.
My shoulder roll while I'm doing it? Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Brennan wiggles.
I do wiggle. I do. I'm also trying to draw at the same time while I'm talking.
What are you even sketching for?
I'm part of the video game club that my school is a part of. And so I was asked to like create...
You say you're a part of it. You went for 1 week.
Stop! I contributed to the design. So that basically, I'm just kind of like sketching out different ideas for background objects in the game.
What's the concept for the game?
I don't know if I should say this.
This is classified.
It may be classified.
This is secret information.
Yes. Maybe I'm under I don't know. Basically, the setting for the game is going to be in an office, a hectic office space. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of just trying to figure out like what plant holders and like desks are going to look like. There's not really a specific. We have come up with like I guess kind of a style that we're going for with it. But they kind of I'm just trying to narrow down what our options are in terms of like what.
How many people work on one project at one time? So you have like both
it varies.
The artists and
the coders.
Yeah.
Everyone comes up with the concept for the game together, mm-hmm. and everyone is part of that pitching process. So in that way, I think it's a bit different than how actual companies probably do the whole thing. But I like it because it's a nice introduction to how video games are made. And it's very relaxed, and everyone who's there is very fun and nice, and it's a good crowd of people. But yeah, I'm just designing background objects. Well, really, I shouldn't say designing. I'm just sketching them out as I think about them.
Do you want to talk about how much of a masshole you are? And how you brought that up? Within the first half an hour of our class the other day?
Sure. So if you guys don't know, a masshole is someone from Massachusetts who's terrible at driving. Absolutely terrible. They will cut you off when you're about to make a turn. They will like speed up next to you trying to pass you. They are impatient and they are aggressive, and that is a masshole. I call myself a masshole jokingly, but basically a terrible driver is a masshole.
You brought this up in our introductions first day of class. to our teacher.
He liked it. He thought it was really funny. Now listen, you guys are probably thinking, why the fuck would you do that? But listen, I can read the room and I can tell when a professor is going to be okay with something like that, or when a professor is going to be like, not okay with it.
When have you been in a class where that wouldn't be okay?
Foundation year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
First year, if you're in depending on your teacher, but even then, like I had a couple of teachers in freshman year where like they would have been okay if I said that.
What about charcoal drawing?
Oh no. There were other, yeah. It really depends. This isn't really a hard thing to do. You can just kind of tell. It also depends on how well you get along with the teacher. If you don't have a good relationship, honestly, this is kind of just a general thing. If you don't have a good relationship with someone.
Oh, this is just the tip with Brendan.
Yeah. We're bringing this up again?
Well, we haven't brought it up first. Brendan's tips. Section on the podcast is going to be called Just the Tip. Yeah. So this is one tip. This is just one tip out of many that I have for you art students. Read the room. And what I mean by read the room is kind of just sit around and look. Actually, no, don't just sit. Interact with people and, get a feel for what your students, your fellow peers are like. I mean, honestly, I don't know if I really have to say this because people do it automatically. Mm-hmm. But just be aware and be conscious of what people are saying. Sometimes what I do is I'll listen in on other people's conversations, and that sounds like I'll eavesdrop, I'll lurk. Not so I can figure some shit out about them, but just so I can understand what is they're talking about if it sounds halfway interesting. Mm-hmm. You can learn a lot. You just join conversations I'm having sometimes. Which is fine. It's not a bad thing, but you just show up and start talking about how much of an asshole you are. Yeah. Read the room. Don't assume anything. Don't assume anything. That's all I can say. If you're reading the room, isn't that automatically you're assuming things? You completely just contradicted yourself. Natalie, this is why I couldn't be a politician. Well, you were going to be the president. We had that whole conversation. That's very true. I was going to be the next president of the United States of America. I would introduce socialism and communism into the government, and people would hate me. The first male president is what you said. The first male president, is that really what That's what you said. No. You know how many people would just kind of be like, what the hell? Well, I'd conquer them. Oh, we're talking about colonialism? No, I did not want to bring that into this conversation. Why? Colonialism? That has a whole, that's an entire other episode that we do not need to get into. Also, that's not... That'll be our Christmas special, colonialism. No! Okay. Yeah. Is red the sexiest color? Is red the sexiest color? Yes. That's what you said, a red robe. Okay, that was because I was looking at John Singer Sargent's portrait, which with the color, okay, red has many connotations, and because one of those connotations is love, I do think red is going to have a bit more of an advantage over colors in terms of having sex appeal for people. Now, granted, this is completely subjective, so you could find someone who's going to be like, no, this yellow, or this mud brick brown. Mustard yellow is my sexy color, and that turns me on. You're going to find someone who's going to say that. And that's not a bad color, it's just... Those khaki trousers. The ones that I'm wearing right now, yeah, they just scream... Well, that's your other theory, is every girl in illustration has mustard yellow clothing. And she wears round glasses. And is short. Yeah. That is every girl in every illustration department ever. Well, you have to fit two of those criteria. For men? No, for us, because I don't have round glasses, but I am short and I do own mustard yellow clothing. Yeah, so at least two. You can be tall but with round glasses and mustard yellow clothing, and you would count.
Yeah.
You could be short and with round glasses, but no mustard yellow clothing, and you would still count.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
For me?
Well, is that your theory?
That is my theory, yeah.
I need scientific proof.
Well, I'm a bit busy, so I don't know if I can do that, but yeah.
What about the men in the illustration department?
The men,
Or is that just
honestly, men at the school are minorities, so I can't really classify them.
In this department. In other departments, it's a little bit different.
But in this
Furniture
department?
ID.
In this department?
In this department.
They're all gay. They're all gay. They're okay, not that's
every single one.
That's not it's not entirely true, but there are a lot, and that's not a bad thing. That's never a bad thing. But it's just something you notice. Yeah. I wish I was funnier. Or more funny. That's the
This seems pretty good.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts about? Actually, I'm not going to bring that up.
What?
I don't.
What?
I don't.
What? Say it.
I don't want this to follow me.
Say it.
After
say
the
it.
podcast.
Say it.
No.
No, you're saying this. What is it?
No.
Say it, Brendan. He does this all the time. He'll go, so. And then he says, never mind. Say it.
Okay. So, when someone's critiquing your work, do you ever get the feeling that maybe, okay, this is kind of a cliche thing, but do you ever feel like some people critique the wrong thing in your piece, and it kind of misses the mark?
I don't think anyone can really critique the wrong thing during a critique.
Oh.
People can say whatever they want.
Uh-huh.
I can definitely disagree with it. Most people can disagree with it. You can be wrong, but I don't think it's really bad if you say whatever you're thinking.
Yeah.
What does bother me is when someone says something that misses the mark and everyone else rides off of it.
Oh.
Because that happened to me freshman year. I mean, less so the past year or so, because illustration's better. But in freshman year, I remember one time it started out. I mean, I guess I explained it not that well, but the first thing that someone said was missing the mark, and then no one else understood what was going on. I know I'm being vague, but
yeah.
I think it's when people kind of miss the mark collectively is when it's an issue.
Oh.
Does that answer your question?
It does. I'm gonna try to get into more specifics so I can help the other art students out.
Okay.
During a critique. So let's say, I'm going to draw this out. Let's say you make a picture about...
Of what?
I'm going to be very, very cheesy. Let's say you make a picture about a skull.
Oh, that's edgy.
About a skull. It's your own skull. And this is about your own mortality and how you're going to die.
It's about your identity.
Yes, it's about your identity. And then someone looks at it and they go, this kind of looks like a frog, and I don't really like the way that you framed this in a square. I think you should do XYZ that has nothing relating to do your theme, which you explained to me. That wasn't really good.
Wait, what? In this theoretical critique, did you explain?
Yes,
before the critique?
Yes,
okay.
You explained beforehand.
And what was their critique?
Their critique was completely unrelated to your theme.
Okay.
Yeah. It was you're saying, here's a skull about me and about dying, and the person's like, you should do something completely different, like hanging a piece of rope.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's an extreme case. I think if you made this specific skull saying it was about your identity and your mortality, and someone said that's stupid, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair critique. But if they suggest something that isn't what you were thinking, then that's not helpful.
Yeah. I don't think I really explained this well.
But also, if you didn't explain your thought process beforehand, then I think it was just kind of whatever
that's true.
People perceive it as.
Yeah.
And any critique is going to be worthy.
That's true. Do you ever think that there should be like a time limit for how long you should get a critique?
For a critique? In a class setting, yes.
Yeah.
I got so annoyed yesterday in intro to, a class I'm taking, intro to animation. And you know how people will set timers when class time is running out?
Oh yeah.
We were running out of class time, so the teacher said to the TA, set 3-minute timers for each person's critique. So he did that, and the timers went off, but she didn't listen to them. Like, it was 3 minutes, that went off, and then for like 5, 6 or so more minutes, she would keep talking.
Yeah.
And I was like, why would you even bother with doing that if you're just going to ignore it? That doesn't usually happen, but that annoyed me, and I was hungry and I wanted to go.
Oh.
That's why I ran, and I didn't go straight to the advanced painting show.
Oh.
But if it's outside of class, then I think critiques should just happen as they happen. I don't think they should have time limits, but in class they should, because I want to go.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think that, I think the time limit is tricky because I've noticed that there are situations where there will be a time limit, but I won't respond to it in a way. Like I won't quicken my pace. I'll just say the same thing in like the same speed. I guess that's more of a personal thing. That's more of a me problem than it's the time limit problem. I think having a time limit helps, or it should help in theory, because you're telling people, okay, just get to the essence of what this person needs to do and just say it. Don't sugarcoat it. But I have been in situations where it backfires and people just don't say enough, even though there is a time limit. Or usually what will happen is that the two people who do speak will just then talk even more at a greater volume, because then they're going to feel more pressure to talk, and then no one else will really say anything. I'm not really sure how to help that, because usually it's the teacher who says, okay, you two have talked enough. Talking enough. Yeah.
Perfect.
And now it's time for other people to talk. I wish this is supposed to be helpful for young illustration students, and I don't think it was.
You never know.
That's true, you never know. I guess be open to other people's critique advice.
Be open to it, but that most people, well, not most people, but sometimes people get it wrong, and you shouldn't have to take everything
That's true.
into consideration, because some things just aren't useful.
That's true. Don't take everything to heart.
Don't even take it to your head. Sometimes things are not wrong, but not helpful in any way.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the features we're gonna have in this podcast. We've already done just the tip accidentally, right? Or do you have the tips for straight women?
That's gonna be later. Yeah.
When
but
later?
we shouldn't. Okay, a couple episodes down the road.
Okay.
We also shouldn't assume that our only audience is gonna be straight women looking.
No.
Even though the vast majority of illustration students I see are like women, shouldn't assume that they're all going to be women.
I am fine with this being an illustration podcast. I think it's a good idea.
Okay.
We also need nonsense.
That's true. Yeah, let's.
And that's a part of it.
Yeah.
So we've done just the tip.
Okay.
The other things we were thinking of were dramatic readings of Brendan's messages.
Yeah.
Maybe not today.
Later
on. That's for when we're respected.
When we're respected?
Yeah, then we can start.
Yeah.
When we're respected within the illustration community, monkey news.
I see.
How do you feel about monkey news? Chimps are a big thing in the illustration department.
They are?
Yeah, it's a new trend. Haven't you heard?
Did you start that trend?
Yeah, I'm a trendsetter.
Yeah. Okay.
So how do you feel about monkey news if we were to do that?
I think it'd be fun.
Fun?
Yeah.
Okay.
We gotta figure out a way to like incorporate it into what our theme is, or do you?
Well, like, we can do that like at the end.
Yeah.
I think we're overthinking the whole theme thing because we've talked about this for a while.
Okay.
With multiple people, and we have multiple answers. Brendan thinks something different to what I think, and that's something different to what Hannah and Zoe think, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. What?
keep
Oh.
going.
Well. I don't know. I'm out of ideas.
That's not good. We're at 36 minutes. Let's get to 50, so I can cut some stuff.
Okay.
We keep going. Okay, let's talk the bathhouse.
The bath. No, we can't go into that material yet.
Why? Are we still on illustration stuff?
Yeah.
Watercolor.
Yeah.
How do you feel about watercolor? Oh, we can also talk about very late nights in the studio, all-nighters, and then sleeping on the floor.
Oh, yeah, don't.
That's happened a few times.
Pro tip for illustration students: don't sleep. Okay, sleeping on the floor, it can be comfortable.
It's surprisingly comfortable.
It's surprisingly comfortable if you have a cushiony backpack.
A backpack and a coat is all you need.
Yeah, then you'll be fine sleeping on the floor. Just
or
if you're
on the tables. The tables are good too.
I would suggest sleeping on tables because the floor is where there's going to be mice.
Yeah, there's a mouse in our studio.
Yeah, so sleep on tables or in nooks that are above the ground. That is my advice to you. But my
also,
overall.
A backpack and coat is perfectly fine, but you can also bring a pillow and a blanket and keep it there.
Yeah.
That's what we've been thinking about for a while.
Yeah.
So watercolor, that happened to us a couple times working on watercolor. We painted a tree all night.
Stop!
You didn't sit down once. It was all night.
Yeah.
I came back. I didn't stay this day, but I came back in the morning and Brendan was still going.
I was going hard because I was not about to let the ball drop on this one. And it worked out.
Because usually in all-nighters, I take a couple of naps. I have to sit down.
Yeah.
But
No.
I was impressed. You kept going.
I knew the process. I knew what I had to do, and I did it. And it was really fun. I would actually like to paint in watercolor on that scale again, but to be honest, so far the only thing I seem to be good at doing is painting trees.
I'm getting confused.
Yeah.
You painted a tree for you painted the master copy.
Yes.
And then you painted another tree that was very similar to it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. That was fun. Yeah. One thing I will say to you guys is watercolor is very time consuming. Don't underestimate.
It can be and it can't be.
Yeah. I would say don't underestimate how long a watercolor painting will take you.
A lot of it is drying time too.
Yeah. Get a blow dryer. If you don't have a blow dryer, you are going to kill yourself waiting. Yeah. You are going to have a hard time waiting. So get a blow dryer. It'll save your life and the amount of time it takes. Also, get like a giant ass tub and just fill it with water. Yeah, that's also true. Going to save you a lot of time.
Don't just use just like a mug or a cup. You need a bucket.
Yeah, you think I'm get a bucket, guys. Get a bucket for your water. Yeah. Watercolor is really fun. I will say though, I mean, this is just inherent to the medium, is like you can't really screw up in certain places.
You can a little bit.
Yeah,
you can.
That's true. You can a little bit, and depending on what you're doing, there is some leniency. But in other times, if you mess up, you're gonna have to find a way to either cover it up, or like you're just gonna have to be like, well, it's part of the painting now.
Or start again. On expensive 300-pound paper.
Well, if you can make your own paper.
Oh, that's true. You love making paper. You're a paper maker.
I'm a paper maker now. Haven't made paper since the day I was taught how to do it.
Do you have access to like the facilities?
You don't need like a specific.
You don't need a specific. Okay.
No.
So
unless
you can do it wherever.
Yeah, there is a machine called a Hollander beater that is here. I do not.
In the ISB.
Yeah, but I have no idea how to get not here, but like
in the
in another area
Okay.
of the school. But if you guys want to find a nice way of like beating paper fibers, look up Hollander beater and find one nearby. Yeah, paper making is really fun. It's very relaxing. It doesn't take a lot of effort. You can make paper out of clothes that are 100% cotton. So I would definitely go to thrift stores and find clothes that are 100% cotton and then make paper from those. Yeah. There are resources online to learn how to do this. Yeah.
Yeah, we're useless. Brendan's useless.
I'm very useless on this topic. Anyways, yeah.
So we'll go a bit longer. If this is thinking into the future, but if wherever we post this, or if we can just mention them now, mention our websites or our Instagrams. You don't post any art online, but I think we should. I think we should put that
in the future
somewhere, or say it on here.
Yeah.
So that we can show people what we're talking about.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're not just phonies.
faking it. Yeah.
Yeah, we really go to Harvard University.
Yeah.
And we are studying
paper making,
biotechnology, and you do computer science, right?
I do yes.
Yeah.
I'm an up and coming computer science major. Yeah. It's an art student trying to pass off as a computer science major, but you could.
Should we talk about tropical fish?
Tropical fish. Tropical fish. Oh, yeah, I found out recently, I guess somewhere in Liverpool in the UK, if you're a woman, it is not illegal to sell tropical fish
It is
topless.
not illegal.
Yeah.
It is legal to sell tropical fish in a fish shop shirtless. Which is all you need to know.
As a woman in Liverpool.
Which is why we need to make a pilgrimage.
To Liverpool.
Liverpool.
So I can sell fish topless.
Yeah.
But, well, I was just going to do it for funsies.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I can do it anyways.
Well, I think this is something that needs to be mentioned on the first episode of Cock Talk with Brendan. Because it's very important. This is something we talk about all the time.
You mean...
we mentioned the fish thing.
That's true. I mention it
all the time.
Yeah. That's important, guys. Go to Liverpool. And if you're from Liverpool and you're listening to this, I hope you learned something new that you'll start implementing more in your lives.
Yeah.
Sell fish topless.
We'll send shockwaves through Liverpool, and then
Yeah.
it will become a thing, finally.
Yes. Maybe that's what UK citizens will be known for in the future.
Oh, yeah, your accent. Yeah, I think you need to sample a bit for us.
No.
Sample a bit.
I'm not really, yeah. Not when I'm tired.
You were doing it earlier.
I will later on when I'm better.
There you go. It is getting better.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely.
I'm learning. I'm glad that I have someone who's actually British.
Hint,
hint, nudge, nudge, to actually teach me the ins and outs of how this works.
Yeah.
How this works.
I mean, I'm not the best tutor, but I think it's okay.
Yeah, I think things are going well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I
In
think
my
you
own
need
accent.
more practice. You need to do it all the time.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
You can go to the
Oh.
vending machine.
Oh, Pofo's closed. Yeah, we
You
can
go
do that.
Yeah.
We'll do that afterwards.
Yeah. So what are you hoping to make for, actually how are you hoping junior review is going to go? So for the audience who doesn't know about this, junior review, where we're from, is basically our department we bring in all of our
work, and I think it's like 3 professors, isn't it 3?
Yeah.
Most likely people we haven't had before, so they're new to us, new to our work. We'll sit down and we'll show them our work, and they will review us, and Well, I don't really know much more than that.
Well, from what I've heard, it's not like they're not critiquing you in your work. They're basically just looking at
seeing where you are now and where you should be going. I think is
for like immediate employment after school.
I mean, people kind of talk about it like it's a scary thing, but I'm not really nervous about it.
When I've talked to people, they've said it's not scary.
I'm not super nervous. I think in the department I've had like the nicer teachers. So I think I might get the harsher ones.
Maybe, but it'll be okay because they'll give you the tough love that you need to succeed. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not nervous about it, even if I do get the harsher one. I'm just thinking about it now, like I think I will.
Yeah. But I think there's also supposed to be professors from like another department.
Really? I haven't heard of that before.
Oh, well, maybe that's not going to happen for us.
I thought it was only illustration
teachers.
Yeah.
Maybe. It's probably correct. But yeah.
When is that? It's April, right?
It's in April, so it's a while away, but it happens before we decide our next classes for next school year.
Yeah, that's good. I'm nervous about this semester.
Why are you nervous?
I don't know if I'm gonna like my classes as they continue.
Oh, really?
I think it might. I don't know.
How come?
I don't know. I think I might like some of the work. I might hate some of it.
Yeah.
There's none that I'm like super excited for. Like I was excited for painting and watercolor last semester, but now I'm like, I'm excited for animation.
Yeah.
Digital is less so for me because
you'll learn how to make art digitally, which can help you. You can combine your your awesome colored pencil drawings with
which you look down upon.
So this is you're gonna make the audience think that I'm like this giant asshole.
The audience is just like one person.
One person. You're gonna make the one person listening to this think that I'm like some kind of asshole who's like
a masshole.
A masshole. True, I did just say I was a masshole, so maybe I already dug my own grave. Go on.
No, you go on. What were you saying? You were saying.
Okay, so
colored pencil.
I'm gonna be real. I used to not like the way colored pencil looked.
Which is insane.
Yeah, I used to. I think it's because of the way the work was curated to me. Because whenever.
Well, what kind of work were you looking at? High school kind of colored pencil work.
High school colored pencil work.
Yeah, there you
go. There could be an amazing high school colored pencil artist, but the kind of work that I was looking at was high school colored pencil art. But by that, I mean like people who are still working on their rendering skills and their like ability to
use materials.
Yeah. And also I was looking at these very like hyper real-esque colored pencil drawings of like celebrities, which, it's not a bad thing. I mean, when I saw people like that, I was so inspired and I was like, damn, I want to be able to draw just like that. And then I started drawing and I decided to do something different, but that's different.
Well, yeah. So
but yeah, I used to not be a huge fan of colored pencil, but
I think it works really well with textured paper. I think
do.
That's like the best way of using it. It's like some people I've seen on Instagram.
I know
really can use it like that.
When people use it with gouache, it's like,
gouache watercolor. It takes time to learn how to use it properly, and I'm still doing that. I mean, I recently started using it and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I still need work. Taking a break from painting.
Well, you're still it's like painting with drawing.
Yeah. It's different, but it's similar.
Yeah.
TA'd for a painting class today. Yeah. That was fun.
What's it like being a TA?
It's actually interesting. We're going over time at this point, but I think this is fine. We have more stuff. But some TAs are annoying.
Bringing it out.
Well, most of the time they're not really annoying, but they're not really helpful. And I didn't think that's what I was going to be doing, but the professor I'm TAing for, he was busy, so he wanted me to go around and help students with paint mixing, because they were doing like chromatic grays, going from yellow to purple, blue to orange, etc., and they were trying to get the mid grays.
Yeah.
And I don't really think of myself as like being an expert on this stuff, but after you've done it for a couple years, it does come naturally to you. So I went around the room and tried to help people. Some people are very open to it. They have questions, and it feels good to like help them.
Yeah.
Some people are like, no, this is easy, I don't need help, and they're not very open to it, which I find slightly annoying, but because I've with me in the past, when a TA has tried to help me, some of them are very timid. And they're like, if someone comes up to you, they're timid, they don't really seem like they know what they're talking about, so you don't really respect them as much. So now that I'm in that position, I'm just saying what's true. But now I'm in that position, I'm trying not to be so shy. And I'm trying to not really assert myself more, but make it sound like I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, but you do. I half do. Yeah. I mean, I don't really know the best way to convey it to other people. But I'm trying. Yeah. So I didn't think I would really be doing that sort of stuff, but I looks like I am. So. Yeah, you're doing it well. Yeah, I want to help. I don't want to be useless. Yeah. So, first episode. Yeah. We've been talking about doing this for a while. Yeah. And it's finally happening. I didn't think it was for a while, but it's happening now, so thank you, Brandon. You're welcome. Okay. Anyway, we can end this now. We'll see how this goes. Yeah. We'll catch you all later, or the one person listening to this later. on the flipbook side. On the flipbook side, on the flipbook side. I don't Is that how we're ending things? I guess. You need a good outro. Yeah. I'm going to come up with that. Okay. Bye. Want to thank our listeners. Thank you for listening. 0 people listening to this. Yeah. Okay. Thank y'all. Bye.